Hello, welcome to Jim's Spare Parts. I have with me Leroy and Rob today. You've seen these two guys on the Zoom. We're now here to help Rob out here since he's a little height challenge to getting the antenna up. Hope you didn't mind that.
No.
So he's purchased a Tram 1481. This is the 17-foot dual band. Does 2 meters and 440. We're going to get it up here on this house, and you're going to come along with us. So the first step, you got to take it out of the package and not lose the parts. Because you know, if you lose parts, that's the spare parts at the end.
That's where Jim comes in.
Here comes this. Right on the table. Look at that. Now, don't take this home and play with it. You put that in the trash where it belongs.
And for anybody who wants to know, this is the information. If that comes in.
Okay, so it looks like 3 sections of fiberglass tubing. The ground rods, watch we don't drop the nuts.
Let them all radios, Jim.
Well, yeah, thank you. Not ground rods, radios.
Always have a knife handy for the tape.
Don't play with knives.
Well, there's another piece up here. That's that black line I was telling you about.
Gotcha. So it's compression fitting that's on there.
That's where Jim's spare parts comes in.
What are these left over for? So is that just for compression? Okay. So that does come apart. So did you guys watch the other video on how this goes together?
This one here.
This one goes on top of that.
This is the first section here, and inside here, can you get that over near the camera? This piece.
We'll bring it up closer.
There's this piece inside here
You're good.
that has to come out, and sometimes you have to shake the antenna down to get enough of it out. There we go. See how much I got out there? There you go. And if you do take more of this out, like Jim just did, you get to this, feels like foam rubber stopper, and then inside here is all coil wire that's inside the tube. And then the second section.
There you go. So
An Allen wrench.
So what we're looking at is this set screw here. We're going to back it out and slide the element from this rod into here, and then we'll slide the compression fittings together. Now, does it say just to bottom it out?
Yeah, just enough to get the wire element in. Oh, sorry, wrong Allen wrench.
And the antenna does come with all the hardware needed and tools.
And now you bottom out. You want to lower you down some?
I think that's it. Yep, okay.
All right, down, Leroy.
That goes to that black mark.
Goes right there.
So right here, everybody, when you're assembling this, there's this black mark on the antenna. You run the coupler so it's even or covering the black mark, right?
Right to the black.
Right to the black mark. That helps you with your pre-tuning.
Slide. Okay, right up there, and then these two get screwed together.
And then we'll get wrenches and tighten them up in a bit.
Okay, that's the first section now.
Now for the top mast. I'll stand out here and hold this end.
I'll have to go up here. It slid up the pipe.
Jim's outside now shaking the antenna to get the top of the second section out so that we can connect the top section element to the middle section. And he's out there because there's more room shaking it down.
It's still.
It's not moving. What do we do? We say just a coil of wires in the middle of this?
Yep. The one I watched, they did the top section to the middle first.
Oh. You know, that makes sense. Let's take that back apart. I see why. Because this top section doesn't go up all the way in the...
That's editable.
Nah, we're going to leave it in place. We want people to see how not to do it.
Keep coming. Keep coming.
Still?
Oh.
There it is. There. If you get out too far, that's what it looks like. So just the coil of wire. All right. So yeah. So the top section go first. And it's nice that they did tighten these all the way down in shipping.
Still got like another inch and a half. Oh, there it is.
Okay, you got it? Alright, now slide that up to the black line.
And the table does make this easier to assemble than trying to do it on the ground.
Yeah. Only goes in about 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Then that whole section. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So when you do it, do the top half first because the rod doesn't go all the way to the top. And that gives you enough that the section can slide down and get into the bottom half. Now the ground radials, they should just screw right onto the end there. Let's get a good get a good action shot here. Leroy screwing in the ground radials.
And then we'll come back with a wrench and tighten the lock nut down on to the base so that they won't back out.
One of the neat thing about Tram antennas is it comes with this piece. Very important on any Tram antenna that has this piece, make sure you run your coax through here before you actually assemble this, because it covers your coax connection, and it has a set screw that it goes into. But if you put this on first before you put your coax in there, you got to take it off again. We've learned from this mistake before.
Jim, when we connect the coax to the antenna, then the antenna to the mast, it's going to be hung on the side of the house. Do we want to put a coil in the coax where it comes out of the bottom of the antenna?
Yes, you do want to have that. That provides an RF choke. Now you can purchase an RF choke that has some ferrite beads on it, or if you want to do the cheap method, 5 or 6 turns in the coax, it just keeps the RF from coming back down the shield.
So what diameter are the turns? Are you going to show us in the video?
You want about a 5-inch turn radius. You have to be really careful what you're using. We are using RG8, which will take the turns. But if you're using something like LMR or something, you're going to want to buy an actual choke to put in, or the ferrite beads on the core, just to keep it from feeding back on it. Each person's going to have their own effects, so do it however you want, but I recommend putting a choke in there just to keep chassis from getting hot. If you have proper grounding in the system, you should be fine. If you don't, but it is recommended. I know I put them on all my antennas.
And as we said earlier, this was the very important part. Make sure you run the coax through the base of the antenna before you connect all of this, and run your coax in and tighten it up.
I wouldn't put much more than that on it.
Yeah. And then you line the hole in the base of the antenna with the outside base. And Tram gives you this little nut or bolt to put right in here. One moment, we're going to back up.
We forgot something very important.
As I'm looking at the table,
Ladies and gentlemen, we forgot these little things. This is what's going to clamp it to that pole out there that we're just mounting.
and it's easier to put it on this end than it is to run it through 100 feet of coax.
We just let them slide down. You just as long as you get it in between, you can let them sit on the coax until you're ready to mount them.
And they are tight. As you can see, that sticker's getting eaten up, even with that bolt all the way out. There. Now we'll proceed with what we talked about before. This is why we make videos for people, to learn from our mistakes.
That's right. We don't help somebody in the long run look good, are we?
Or our mishaps, not really mistakes.
Okay, so this will be the final assembly. You're going to want these brackets just far enough apart. The further you make it, the more stronger it will hold, but right there is quite sufficient. We're just going to snug them so we're not chasing them down the coax later. So, when you check the pipe size but not the length, we have to run to those. We got Leroy driving, we got Rob riding. Oh, hell no.
Okay.
No, they'll have them. Sits down a lot further. Should be.
Yeah, here we go.
With the tree.
I think that's the size.
Needs to be 2 3/8. Bigger. What's that one there? Nope, bigger.
Wider?
Wider, yep. What's that one?
Try that one.
Nope.
That's not it. That'll be it. Oh, hold on. We go the wrong way.
It's the right diameter.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta drill these out. We can.
I didn't want to lose them.
Yeah, that's why I had him put his hands up here. It goes in.
Should have bought the bang. Blows. What's that? Does it?
Alright, we're doing it old school. Oh yeah, they're tightening down good, Jim.
Really? You're just not bottoming the threads, right? You know what we should have got? Some lock washers.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
Those just go snug. Yeah, I wouldn't do any more than that on those. All right, so there you have it. Now, let's see how she performs.